Thank you, Pippi. As already been stated, I'm reading this on behalf of Callie Greer and really on behalf of her daughter. And as you listen to the story, it's certainly heart-touching. And I'm reading exactly as she has it written here. I wish I could be there tonight and speak for my daughter, Venus, in person, but I can't. So I'm sending my words instead because this is so serious, and I promised that I would speak for her if given the opportunity. My daughter Venus and I were talking one day a couple of years ago, and she mentioned a small knot in her breast. We talked about what she could do to find out what it was. So without a job and no health insurance, the only other option we had was ER. So she went to the Baptist South. That's the hospital most of us black folks go to. When she was called, she was asked about form of payment. She told them she would have to pay as she could because she's out of work and didn't have insurance. After a lengthy wait, she was called to the back. When the nurse came in and asked what her visit tonight was about, she told her about the knot and her concern. There was no exam. She just wrote something. Take my glasses off so I can see. She wrote something. She wrote her a note and then left the room, telling Venus she would be back. When someone returned, they wrote her a RX for lower tabs and was sent to talk with someone about the bill for that night. This continued over a year. On one of her many visits there, she was once asked, "You must like coming here." And Venus answered, "I have nowhere else to go." Finally, one night when Venus went to the ER, you could literally smell the infection in her breast. A doctor saw her and was visibly worried about her. Once he actually looked at her breast, she was sent to the cancer center. Venus then had to have a radical mastectomy and start chemo ASAP. We prayed and asked for Venus to be healed from this disease, and at times she would rally back. But the cancer was relentless and spread from her breast to her liver, to her bones, and finally to her brain. But through all of this, Venus had to wait to be approved for medication, oxygen tanks, exam, x-rays, and anything else she needed to help fight the disease. Waiting months sometimes for meds or treatments she desperately needed. When we rushed Venus to the cancer center on February 22nd, 2013, she was waiting for approval for a brain scan. She told me that her head was hurting so bad that she could not see. They called for an ambulance and she was taken to Baptist South. They gave her a brain scan there and found 2 tumors on her brain and one had ruptured. They could do surgery, but it wouldn't help Venus. The damage was already done. Now imagine that you were me and the doctor had just told you what he told me. What would your reaction be? Venus went to be with the Lord on February 23rd, 2013. Not long before that, I had asked Venus to come and speak at the NAACP healthcare rally in Montgomery. She said, "Mama, I don't feel so good." But after a little talk, she decided she would. For those of you that were there, you remember Venus, brave black woman speaking truth to this lie about the cost of health care for all people. Now that she is not with us any longer, I am keeping my word to her that I would speak at her going home service. Now that she is not with us any longer, I'm keeping my words to her that I spoke at her homegoing service. I will advocate for this until I am with her or until it is a reality. Now I ask you, how many more beautiful humans will have to die at an early death before we stand up for all humans to be cared for as all humans should? Just think, if Venus had been viewed as a valuable human being, they would have checked her for breasts. They would check her breasts, wrote her an RX for a mammogram, and maybe, just maybe, this story would have had a different ending, and Venus would be, and she left it blank. Thank you. So thank you very much.